Hey guys, welcome to this Instagram print on demand video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing what I personally do with Instagram for print on demand. Now, just FYI for everybody who potentially might be new, who's watching this, who kind of maybe not familiar fully with my channel, or maybe haven't seen every single video I've posted before. For those who want to know, the Instagram accounts and the things that I'll be showing you today are my demo accounts that I show to the world, essentially publicly. For me, I do this behind the scenes every single day, multiple times a day. I do this with virtual assistants as well that run accounts, business accounts of mine that I transact on every day that I keep relatively private. As you guys can obviously assume, as soon as you put out information out there here on YouTube, like what your Redbubble store is or what your Instagram accounts are for your Redbubble stores to market them, not just Redbubble, but Zazzle, TeePublic, any kind of print on, even Etsy, you're going to get hundreds, if not thousands of copycats. Unfortunately, I already had to deal with this, and I'm still dealing with this, and it's the reason, honestly, why I couldn't take that Redbubble store that I took public. I can't take it seriously anymore because of the amount of copycats on it. It's just unreasonable. So for the store accounts and the Instagram accounts that you'll be seeing, these are demo accounts just to be showing you how things work. Okay, so I've gotten a few comments in the past week, maybe over 20 of people asking about like how do you use Instagram for print on demand, like what do you do? And I've got certain people asking specific questions, certain people asking general questions. If you watch this full video, you're probably going to get just about every question answered for you. If you have any special questions or anything like that, feel free to ask them in the comments down below. I'll try to get back to them. But Instagram automation or Instagram growth has been something that I've been doing for years. I mean, we're talking maybe 6 years. That's kind of like the number for me, I would say. Maybe like a year into my business journey is kind of when I discovered it. Maybe even a little more, honestly. When I introduced what Instagram growth and Instagram automation was to print on demand, it didn't really exist before then. Before I made those first few videos, if you searched on YouTube, anybody who's using Instagram to sell their products through print on demand, I don't think it existed. I don't think there was another person talking about this. But we had actually this exact channel actually was an Instagram channel. That's what it was for the first few years. And I was just showing how beginners could start growing their Instagram, making money, and literally we helped thousands of people, and that's not an exaggeration. Yes, the views were small and we would get like 20, 50, 100 views a video, but there would be new people in the videos every single day. So if you want to learn about Instagram and print on demand, this is hopefully for you. Now, as we all know, Instagram, there's one main purpose for Instagram, and that's to get attention. Now, that's for us as business owners. A lot of consumers get on Instagram because they want entertainment, right? And entertainment and attention are always go hand in hand. If you're providing entertainment, you're going to receive attention. If you receive attention, that probably means you're providing entertainment, right? And it's not just entertainment. It could be curiosity factor, whatever. But generally, posting on Instagram is going to get you content. Now, the one main problem with Instagram in the world today, and it's been the problem for the past like 7 years, 8 years, maybe even 10 years, is that up until the very infancy of Instagram, Instagram engagement has been getting worse and worse and worse and worse organically every single year. And this is actually not something new. Since Facebook or Meta owns Instagram, their model is on Instagram is the exact same model for Facebook. In the very beginning of the product of Instagram's release, engagement was great. You can make money, get followers, you could do very well. But then what they do is they remove your organic growth, and then they force you to essentially have the option to pay for ads to get your accounts growing. Now, that's fine for the average Joe, for you to pay thousands and thousands of dollars worth of ads. But for typically people who get onto print on demand, there's not nearly as much money that they have available to them, which is why they use Instagram bots. Now, Instagram bots can vary in price. I'll just be sharing the websites that I'll show you now. This website here is called botsandapps.gumroad.com. I am an affiliate, and they offer 3 different Instagram bot tools. You have the follow-unfollow automator, the comment automator, the like automator. I'm going to be showing you how to work all 3 of these today. So don't worry if you're not sure what you're doing or you're a little nervous on how to get things started. Like, don't worry whatsoever. I'll show you everything. Okay? Then there's another company, which is actually the sister company to igbots.org, which they offer the same product, but they're different companies, and they work together. It's a website called igbots.org. I'll also be showing you how to run this tool, which is effectively the same thing. The only difference is it comes with the follow, the unfollow, and the like. Okay, so follow, unfollow, and like. And here, this one is the follow, unfollow, then you have the comment, then you have the like. Now, I want you to notice just on the pricing. The pricing is a little different. So this tool right here is $119. You can do following, you can do unfollowing, and you could do liking, right? For this, you're paying monthly as opposed to here you own the tool. So it's a little bit different, right? So here you're paying monthly, right, on a monthly basis, whatever price it is. So in this case of the comment tool, if you're going to get the comment tool, that's a $9.99 a month price. For the follow, that's $19.99 a month, right? For the like, that's $9.99. My recommendation for most people is go with the cheaper option in the beginning just to make sure that you actually can commit to what I'm going to be showing you here. So some people, they say, man, I really, really want to get into Instagram automation. I want to get into growing my Instagram account so I can sell my merch. So I can sell my print-on-demand merch, whether it be on Merch by Amazon, whether it be on TeePublic, whether it be on Redbubble, whether it be on Zazzle, Society6, Fine Art America. I mean, you name it. They want to use. They want to get started. I would say before you make a huge investment of $119, which is really not that big of a deal, especially if you're in, America, UK, Canada, it's really not much. But I mean, I know people that spend more on, there are people out there who spend more on coffee in a month than they spend on a tool like this. But regardless, if you're not sure what you're going to do, I highly recommend you go with the monthly accounts first. There are no refunds on these purchases. So from bots and apps, you don't get a refund. From this tool here, you don't get a refund. So that's just something you want to be aware of. So if you're going to begin, I highly recommend go with the monthly tool first. You keep your investment low. If you're not sure if you're going to use it or not, use it for the month. And if you decide you want to go ahead and buy the full tool, go ahead and do that. If you decide you don't want to and you want to keep it on a month-to-month basis because you're not sure how long it's going to last, you could do that as well. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to begin by just showing you, or first I'm going to explain how this works. So essentially how they work are these tools that you see, whether it's the one from igbots.org or bots and apps. And by the way, if you guys are ever interested, I'll leave these links in the description box down below for you to use these tools, okay? And like I said, we're going to show you how to install them in this video, so there's nothing to worry about here. You attach them to your browser. That's how they actually get to work. And once again, I'll show you how to do all this. But it's important that you know everything so that when you use it, there's no mysteries or there's no questions. So when you add these tools to your browser, they interact with your browser to mimic human being activity. A lot of the times, and some of these tools still exist, but you can log into them through a dashboard or something, and you just put it in settings and it works for you. A lot of those tools will get you banned today. In fact, 99.9% of them will. I don't know of a single tool that is quote-unquote cloud-based anymore that will work fine, unfortunately. Back in 2014, 2015, we were able to use a cloud-based tool very, very efficiently. Unfortunately, now in 2022, we don't. So these are really our only options. Now, you guys are going to see, my screen is probably going to be blurred right now by the time you're seeing this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be installing the like bot as the first one. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is after you purchase your tool, or if you've already purchased, log into your account here, I'm going to grab my license key. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the like bot. So I'm downloading right now the like bot. And if I open up my browser here, I'm just going to go to my more tools and then extensions. So if you guys are familiar, these three buttons here on the top right, you click on more tools. It will open up this folder here, click on more tools, and then click on extensions, and it will take you to your extensions page. Now, if you have a browser with a lot of different extensions, I recommend you use the Vivaldi browser. Now, Vivaldi is a browser, which I'll just show you guys how to use here. And once again, I'm leaving all these details in the description box down below so you guys can get access. You go to vivaldi.com. And Vivaldi is a browser that's a fresh, clean browser that actually these companies support using. So I've asked them certain questions before about like how to use them and things like that, and they recommend actually using this browser. So this is the official browser that they recommend. It's called Vivaldi, Vivaldi.com. Now, when you guys install these tools, you can do it on Chrome as well, but they do recommend Vivaldi. So it's up to you what you want to do, but I'm just going to show you how to do it on either way. So if you could see here on the bottom of my screen, I've downloaded already the tool, right? It says Likebot. All I have to do is click on it, and I have to extract it. So extract all, and I'm going to hit extract. So right now it's extracting, and it's extracting it to my downloads folder. Now if you notice, this little pop-up comes up, and I have a Likebot folder, and I have a Mac OS X folder. The Likebot folder, I'm just going to simply take it, drag it, and drop it into my browser. Now, if you're watching this right here, I have the tool active. Now for you, if you didn't turn on developer mode, you want to do that before you drag and drop the tool. So you go over here to the extensions page. Once again, you hit these little three dots, click on more tools, go to extensions. It will take you to this page here. Take your mouse, go over to the right hand side, and turn on developer mode. Then you're going to see, after you drag and drop the folder of your tool, it will be right there. Now, if you get some sort of error or something like that, that means you simply dragged and dropped the wrong folder. That's it. You just got to go back and grab the right folder. This works on Mac and PC. And by the way, guys, if you're watching this video and you're just, maybe you're not watching the full video and you're just skimming through, all the frequently asked questions that people ask me when it comes to this kind of stuff will be in the description. So look for those. So now I'm going to go over here to my extensions. I'm going to open my extension. And you can see here my extension is right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my key to access it, right? And I'm going to add my email. So I'm just going to pause the screen and I'm going to add my email real quick. So let me just go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back. So essentially the way the tool works is I added my key and my email and I'm logged in. Now if you notice, there's a little error here that says you need to be on the Instagram website. This error will essentially force you to not be able to use the tool unless you're on Instagram. Now if I go to Instagram.com, there is a potential that that error will still exist. Let me go ahead and see here, and I'll just kind of explain why. So it doesn't exist. It works now, but because I'm on the Instagram. But if there's ever an error, guys, and you're using the Chrome browser, make sure you switch over to Vivaldi, because what Vivaldi does is Vivaldi is the actual the best option right now with the way they make these apps for these tools. And we could talk more about it in the future, but once again, not everybody who's watching this video is probably interested in all that information. Now I'm going to show you how to install it on Vivaldi if that's what you want to do. So you just, after you install the Vivaldi browser, you can go to vivaldi.com, install the browser. What you want to do is you want to download the software. After it's downloaded, just go over to your Vivaldi browser, hold Control-Alt-E, right? Control-Alt-E, or excuse me, Control-Shift-E. And that will take you to your extensions page. Okay, so very similar to Google Chrome, how you have your extensions page, you go to Control-Shift-E, and that will take you to your extensions page on Vivaldi. And by the way, I just want to FYI, this Axio Unlimited, this is a tool that I actually paid for through Bots and Apps. I joined already their franchise program. So if you guys don't know, I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about here. They have where's the link here? they have a franchise program, a white label program, where you're actually allowed to resell any of their products. Which is pretty cool, and I'm super excited about that under your own branding. I'm still working on certain things around it, but this is a super cool program. They released it to their affiliates a week prior to official release, and so I've been working on it for like the past last 4 days or something like that. But it's been working really well, and I'm working on things. So we'll talk about that more in the future, though. If you guys want to know more about that in the future, we'll talk about it. But right now, Vivaldi. Go to your extensions page on Vivaldi. So Control, Shift, E, okay? The next thing you want to do is, just like the Chrome browser, you want to go into your zip file, unzip it, drag the folder into this section, make sure developer mode is on, and that switch is here on the right-hand side. Drag the folder in, and now you have the tool here. Now, go to the tool on the right-hand side and add your information, your email and your key. Once again, I'll pause my screen to do this, so just give me a second. Okay, so what I did was I logged in here, and you can see here it still says you need to be in Instagram to access the website or whatever. It's like an error. So I'll go on Instagram here, I'll click on the tool, and there we go. It's perfectly fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the screen, and I'm going to download the rest of the tools and add them to my Vivaldi browser so that we can all be on the same page, so I can explain exactly what the difference is, how to use them, etc. But just to be clear, so everybody knows, here on Instagram, I am going to be, where is it here? Let me go ahead and click on this. I'm going to be installing this optimal tool, and I'm going to be using the follow, the unfollow, comment, like. So I'm going to be installing 4 different tools in this case. So I'll be right back. I'll install them. For you guys, it will only be a second, and we'll get into everything around that. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys. So it took a while to get everything installed, but you could see here we have 4 different tools installed. And by the way, if there's anything that says error here or anything like that, don't worry about it. These don't cause any problems. This is just the manifest version, which basically means it's like the version of the tool. And like in 2023, you're gonna need version 3, but I believe it's not even a big deal because they're not on the actual Chrome store. These are from here. But if there's a problem, the companies that you get them from will just easily update them. So don't worry about any kind of errors. We haven't even started the tools yet. So the only errors you need to pay attention to, if there are any errors on the actual tools here. In our case, we don't have that, right? Because we're on Instagram and we're using the Vivaldi browser. Now, once again, if you use Chrome, that's fine, but that's just not the browser that they recommend anymore because the way Chrome is built. If you guys want to know the science behind it, basically, Google Chrome has this catching feature, which basically when you have a bunch of different tabs open on your browser and you have a bunch of different things going on, like different softwares and things like that installed, they don't fully load the browser, from what I can understand from the customer support. And the customer support was basically saying that the browser doesn't fully load, and when it doesn't fully load, the tools can't recognize that you're on the Instagram website, therefore they won't work. So Vivaldi doesn't actually do that as much. So when you're using, and I honestly just recommend using Chrome for everything that you use except for your extensions. When you use extensions with these companies, make sure you use them on Vivaldi. That's just my recommendation. Once again, you guys can go ahead and use them on Chrome or whatever you like, but just my recommendation. So now that everything is pinned, right, and everything's on and everything's good, we can go ahead and get started. Now I can kind of explain everything. But before we begin, I'm just going to open up these sites. So let me go to Google, and I'll type in botsandapps.gumroad right here, and I'll open up Google and type in igbots.org, just so I can show you guys the differences between each kind of tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the igbots.org tool, which is the full price tool. So the full price tool, you're looking at $119 for the tool. They might increase the price of this, they might decrease, I don't know, they might keep it the same. So just because it's $119 now, it doesn't mean it'll be like that in the future. Okay, so basically, let's go ahead and access the tool, which is this tool right here. And as you can see, it has a follow, it has an unfollow, and it has a like feature. The docs really doesn't matter, just, getting support or whatever for the tool. But really simple stuff, okay? Now, on all the tools, whether you have the follow, the unfollow, the follow, unfollow, the comment, the like, or even the full tool, the optimal tool, it doesn't really matter what tool you have. You're going to have the settings button on the right hand side, and this settings button is where you input your numbers, like where you input how fast or how slow you want it to go. And for me personally, I like to take mine a little bit like in the medium range. I don't like it to be too fast. I don't like it to be too slow, just because I want it to mimic human being activity. So I'll explain kind of the marketing aspect as to how I use it. And once again, everybody's different. Everybody has their own strategies. I'm just simply sharing what works best for me. So this is kind of intertwined into print on demand. So if you're doing this and you're selling something like a Shopify product, or you're selling an ebook, or whatever you're doing, that's perfectly fine. You can just figure out how to apply it to your industry. And if you have questions, put them in the comments down below. So first thing you want to have is a niche-based account. And a niche-based account just means that your account follows one single concept. So for example, from these 6 photos here, or 9 photos, you can tell it's a religious Christian-based concept or Christian-based niche, right? You can see a t-shirt for sale here that's Christian-related, says pray more, worry less. You could see there's Bible verses here, picture of Jesus. You got the whole thing going on, right? So you could clearly tell what's going on from these photos. With your photos, it has to be niche-based as well. Let's say you're building your personal brand, like as an influencer or as a celebrity. In that case, you want to upload who you are. If you're uploading a special product that you have, right? Like let's say you sell pogo sticks. Well, then you need content about pogo sticks, right? You need Instagram related content. Now, once again, the problem with Instagram is no matter how much you post and how many tags you add and you do the whole thing, unfortunately, you're not going to get far with Instagram. And the reason why you're not going to get far is because the Instagram algorithm caps you at growth. And if you don't believe me, I simply just suggest that you go create an Instagram account, post a bunch of photos with hashtags, do all your research, make sure it's perfect, and wait a week and tell me how many followers you get. And tell me if they're real followers, and tell me how many engagement you get. I'm willing to bet that 99% of everybody watching this is not going to get over 40, 50 organic followers, 20 even. That's my guess. Maybe not even more than 20 likes on all your photos for a whole week. The reason why is because when you're a brand new account, you have no follower base, you have no fan base, and Instagram is not going to push you. So essentially, you're effectively screwed. But not us, because we're using these specific tools. So what I do is I post this content. What my goal is to find other accounts that post similar related content. Does that make sense? The reason why I do that is because I can grow my following by finding out other accounts that do the same thing. So here I have like Christian quotes, right? So I might go type in here in the hashtags Christian and look for different hashtags that relate to Christianity. So I'll type in Christian quotes here, right? So I'll click on that. And now I'll see different accounts that are related to my account. So this account looks somewhat related, right? Because they posted a picture of like some sort of landscape, and it's related to God, it's related to Christianity, whatever it is. Now what I could do is I can go to the people who engage with that photo, or I can go straight to the account. So I have 2 different things I could do here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the account, right? And I'll actually want to follow this account because I want to remember this account. Now, you guys can go ahead and write the account down somewhere, or take a screenshot, right, of your specific account that they are also creating content just like you. Now, the cool thing about this special account that I want to point out is their engagement is pretty good. Like, some photos get higher than others. Like, this photo has over 6,000 likes. This photo has 1,900. It's not the best, but it's not terrible, right? That's 1,900 something people that clicked like on this photo, right? So that's important and that's beneficial, because if I'm selling merchandise on my Redbubble, on Merch by Amazon, on TeePublic, on wherever, if I'm selling merchandise on those websites that are related to the concepts in these images, then I'm targeting that specific group of people, right? In the form of advertising. In fact, you could even do this with Twitter, to where Twitter even charges you to do this, but you can do it, like I said, for the price of $9.99 with your bot on Twitter. So this is just an example. And Twitter is a place where you can actually target somebody's fan base. So what we're doing here, and I want to be very clear with what we're doing, we're targeting a celebrity's fan base. In this case, it's not an actual person who's the celebrity, but it's an account with 130,000 followers that happen to get anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 likes a photo, sometimes even more. So that fan base that's engaging, we want to engage with that fan base too, because that will help us not only A, grow our following, but B, sell our products. That's the whole point. So we have a few different tools here, right, in our arsenal. We can go to the 130,000 followers and we could start following these people. Now, these people are regular people just like me and you, but the only difference is they're not producers, they're consumers. They consume content. And just to further validate that and just to go into that, you can be a producer and a consumer at the same time on Instagram, right? Like I can produce content on Instagram while looking at other people's profiles. But what we tend to see with Instagram specifically is that Instagram accounts that produce content typically just focus on producing, and Instagram accounts that consume content most typically just consume. So if I click on any of these people's accounts, it's probably not a business account. It's just probably somebody who's just living their life and sharing their stuff. So like this person called Ferrari6694, either it could be A, a fake account, or B, a private account that just doesn't want to share any information. Like this account, like SethB22, right? Let me actually go ahead and not, I already followed them, but they don't have any posts, but you could see here their profile picture has like a live story. I'm not going to click on the live story because I just want to keep their privacy, but you can see here, God's will is greater than my will. So this is a Christian related account. Now, for the people who are not Christian watching this, hopefully you guys can still kind of see what message I'm trying to bring here, right? Like it just so happens that the account that I'm using is Christian related, but it doesn't mean that you have to do something Christian as well. You could do anything. Like look at this account. It says Bill GF L, right? This is just him living his life, taking pictures of him golfing or whatever it is. So he saw this post, right? Or one of these posts, liked the post, and then followed the account. And that's the most important thing. They followed the account. So we're going to be essentially following the followers of that celebrity account. And we're posting content that's similar. Does that make sense? So instead of me sitting here manually doing it, because if I just want to point this out, if I sit here and click with no breaks, it's only a matter of time until I get banned from Instagram. And when I say banned, I mean my account is going to get frozen. You're not allowed to sit here and just click over and over and over again. Instagram will deem you as a robot, and what they'll do is they'll freeze your account. The more you get banned, the more they freeze your account. And really what that term is called a block. It's not called a ban. A ban is when they just permanently remove you off of Instagram, which really is rare when it happens, and it doesn't happen because of what we're doing here. It typically tends to happen if you're posting nude photos, things that are, basically disturbing photos. Like if somebody got their head chopped off and you have a photo of that, they're going to ban your account. Or if somebody is naked, it's potential that they could ban your account as well. So things like that. But from something like this, if you're going to sit here and manually click away, you're probably going to get blocked in a matter of a few days to a few weeks. It's just a matter of time because they're going to realize you're spamming and they don't want you to do that, so they're just going to remove you, point blank period. So what we do is we use a tool. So in my case, the first tool we're going to use here is this Optimal Bot. And what this Optimal Bot does is, as you could see here as advertised, it has a follow, an unfollow, and a like, right? So in my case, I just want to follow here, right? So I'm going to go to the account, to the tool, I'm going to click the follow button. But before I click the follow button, it needs to be turned on. That's number one. Number two, I have a few scenarios here. I can follow and follow by a certain amount of people that I want to follow. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to follow 3 people, right? And I'm going to put a delay between 2 to 6 seconds. The reason why I'm putting a maximum of 3 here is because we're actually going to test the other tool, because I want to show you how it works as well. Because it's basically the same thing. The only difference is it's a monthly subscription tool. So we have it set to 3, 2, and 6. Before we just do anything, I'm just going to go ahead and refresh the page, because it's always good to refresh. Real quick, click on the followers and open up the account, or open up the tool rather. Make sure my numbers are good, 3, 2, and 6. And then I'm going to hit follow. And I'm just going to click the follow button once. You don't need to click it more than once, because if you click it more than once, then it's going to get the message to do it twice over. So every time you follow somebody, it's going to unfollow somebody. So only click the tool button once. And you can see here, just followed the first person. I'm not going to touch it. My hand is not on the mouse right now, and the mouse is not moving. And you can see here it's following, and it's going to follow the third person right now. So it's effectively finished following. So I'm going to, once the timer goes up, you'll get like a little message that says Instagram.com is completed or finished or whatever. And it did its job. It's followed 3 people as I asked it to. Now, once again, you're not going to want to do a 2 to 6 second delay. Like, this is not ideal. You want to do anywhere from 40 to 60 seconds is ideal. That's just my personal opinion. There's other people who are perfectly fine with 15 seconds or 10 seconds. Some people are good with 40 seconds. Some people are good with 60 seconds, 80 seconds, whatever it is. But I think somewhere in the middle is good. If you guys remember, I said that I would release certain courses around, like anywhere from 99 cents to $9.99. On that site where I do release those specific courses, we will be releasing a function guide on how to actually the perfect numbers to set, so you make sure you never get banned or blocked or anything like that, and you make sure that you're growing consistently, because the whole point is we don't want our Instagram accounts to be frozen, because if they're frozen, we can't use them, then it defeats the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to keep using the tool without getting that, essentially that block, right, where we're frozen. So we don't want that. So I want to be able to freely follow people at my own will. That's kind of like my goal, right? So now you guys just saw me use this tool, which contains follow, unfollow, and like. Now, what you also are going to see me now use is some of these tools. So for example, let's go ahead real quick and use this tool. So this tool only contains follow and unfollow. And you can go in and read their instructions, how to use the tool and all that, but I'm just going to show you how to do it here. So for the sake of the video, we'll just pull up here one of these photos. So I'm going to click on, let's say, this photo because it got super high engagement. And I'm going to click on the people that liked the photo, right? So I want you to pay attention to what I just said. I'm clicking on the people, the 6,000 people that liked this photo, okay? And I'm going to click on that list. Now that list, you can see here, I already follow 4 of those people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and follow more people, but I'm going to use the tool to let it go ahead and do that for me. So I'm going to open up this tool this is the monthly tool. This is the bots and apps tool from bots and apps, IG follow, unfollow, automation tool for $19.99 a month. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on this settings, and I'm going to set up the same settings just to show you guys how it works. So 3 here, 2, and 6. And I'm just going to click follow once. So when you hover over these buttons, right, it will change color. That doesn't mean I clicked it. I'm putting my mouse there, and I'm going to click it now. So you can see here, I just clicked. So it's going to do 3 follows within 2 to 6 seconds each. Now this maximum and minimum kind of bounds on the tool. The maximum and the minimum is basically how long it will take for it to perform a like or a follow or an unfollow. And it does it at a random number. So one time it might wait 2 seconds, another time it might wait 4 seconds, another time it might wait 6 seconds or 3 seconds. And then once it's finished, just like you could see here. And it's completed the 3. Now, if let's just say you set it to do 40 likes, and you want it to stop, or 40 follows, excuse me, and you want it to stop halfway through, all you simply do is you just go to the tool, and you turn it off. That's it. You just turn it off. And what it will do is it will refresh the page for you. So now what we're doing is we're engaging with people that follow and like posts of a account that's similar to ours or a competitor account. And once again, it's important to find accounts that are similar to us or competitor to us because they're going to be offering the same content as us. So, for example, let's just say I wanted to grow my personal following. Let's say I'm The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If I want to grow my personal following and I want to be like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which is this guy. Let me go ahead and show you Dwayne The Rock Johnson right here. Let's just say I wanted to be like him and I was tall, dark, ripped, right? And I wanted to be a movie actor and I wanted to get some fans and followers. I would post content just like The Rock. I would be showing myself working out. I'd be showing myself motivating people, going all out, right? And I would be like, my dreams are to be an actor, all this kind of content. And then what I would do is I would go over here to his 335 million followers and I would engage right there with them, okay? And then what's going to happen is because they like The Rock, they're going to also follow me. Now, it's not going to be 100% of the time. You're going to get 50%, 30%, whatever. So let's just say you do 100 follows that day. Out of that 100, you might gain 60 followers. You might gain 40 followers. You might gain 20 followers. It just depends on how similar you guys are between your account and the competitor account, right? The more similar it is, the more followers you're going to get. And you can set certain accounts as targets and set different tests where you're going to get better results at. And I highly recommend doing that. In my personal business, what I do is I'll look at like 5 to 6 different accounts that are similar and I'll test them and I'll see what results give me better. So for 1 week, I'll do account number 1 and I'll just keep going with account number 1. And then for week 2, I'll test account number 2 and then I'll compare and see what gives me better results. The one that gives me better results, I'll keep going and I'll compare to the next one, account 3, account 4, etc. for each week. Okay. So we went over the follow on both tools. So on the bots and apps tool, which we'll leave the link in the description, and the igbots.org. They're essentially the same tool because they're the same company. They're just in different branches of business. It's a sister brand. But regardless, now I'm going to show you how to use the like. So with the like tool, I personally, my favorite way, and I think this is the only way, is to use it on hashtags. Now, this is super effective, and I have a little pro tip and a little skill that I add with it. So let's go back to hashtag here, Christian quotes. I want to go ahead and type that in, actually, because I want to show you guys something with the skill of like doing the liking. So I'm going to type in Christian. Christian quotes, or anything Christian related. And partially, guys, the reason why I'm using Christian is because, honestly, on Instagram, you don't know what photos you're going to get. And because we're on YouTube, I want to keep things relatively family-friendly. Sometimes there are photos that I wouldn't want to show my kids necessarily. So that's why we're doing it this way. But what I do is go to a hashtag, right? And what I want you to do is I don't want you to start here in the top posts, but I want you to go down here where the other people are posting, right? And I want you to engage with those people through the like, because we want to like other people in our industry. So I'm going to go over here to the most recent, and I'll just click on this one, for example, be the first one to like the photo. And notice it's all Christian vibes, right? You have this photo here of like some sort of prayer or sermon or something going on, and some people singing, probably Christian songs. And then here it says, "He is greater than I," right? Which is a Christian related kind of thing. So I'm going to go over here to my like tool, right? And I'm going to open it up. And I just opened up the follow, but you get what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. This one's it. Okay. So to get it to work, you can't be on this page. So, and this is the little mistake that I did. When you're using the tools, it will refresh the page automatically for you. When it refreshes, it takes you to something like this. I have to go back to the actual hashtag, right? We need to see the hashtag grid. So I'm opened up on the hashtag grid here. Let's just wait a minute for it to load. And I'm going to open up, once again, this account here. or the photo, the most recent photo, and I'm going to open up my like tool. Now, the like tool, it's going to simply just do the likes. So I'm going to set the same numbers, 3 likes, and it's go 2 to 6 seconds per like, right? So I'm going to hit like, and now I'm just going to not move my mouse and sit back. So like the first photo, and it's going to move on to the next photo, and it's going to do the same thing, and so on and so forth. Now, once again, you can do this with both the bots and apps and with igbots.org. But once again, with igbots.org, it comes with the follow, the unfollow, and the like. On the monthly or the bots and apps, you pick what you want to use, which there is, and I should probably make a video about this in the future, about what are the most powerful tools for what circumstances. And we'll talk about that in the future. Not in this video because it's just a little bit too much. But I will say that the most effective tool by far for a beginner who wants relatively fast results is the follow and follow tool. Now, there was a video I made a little while ago. I can't remember exactly what the title was, but I talked about like the best investment you can make, with your tool. And that, in my opinion, is the comment tool. The comment tool, in my opinion, is the best investment because it's the cheapest out of all three, right? But it's not going to give you the best results. If money wasn't a problem, I would say go to the follow and follow because it's $19.99 a month. But more importantly, it gives you more instantaneous results. Now, when I say instantaneous results, if you use this tool today, you will get followers today. You could even get traffic today and sales today. But the sales all depends on the mathematics of the business. If your merchandise is terrible looking and you drive thousands of visitors to your website, it just doesn't matter. Nobody's going to buy it. This is why I say, guys, there's no cure to a lack of skill. If you don't have the skills to create beautiful art, beautiful designs, nobody's going to be willing to purchase. That's just the truth, right? You can use these tools all day, but if the product doesn't get to a certain level, you're just wasting your time. So with every design that you create, you have to be confident that it looks good. If it doesn't look good, don't do this. Like, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your effort. First, make sure you have good designs, okay? And like I said, if I was a total beginner with an unlimited budget, which, to be honest, this stuff is really not that expensive, but I understand there's people who come from different parts of the world. I would say the best tool, the biggest bang for your buck, where you're going to see results the same day that you use the tool, is the IG follow unfollow, whether it be this one or this, because they both have the same features. But if you only had to pick one out of these three, I would pick this one. If you were on a budget and you couldn't, for some reason, get the follow unfollow, I would say get the comment. But here's the thing, guys. With the comment, this all is content related once again. You're going to have to be smart enough to figure out what comments can I put out that are going to draw people in. And once again, I can make separate videos on this in the future, but there's in the world of business, there's something called copywriting, which is the art of the written word. And if you use words that draw people in, you're going to gain more success than if you just tell people, hey, go do me a favor, go follow my account. Like, nobody's going to do that. If you type that in the comments of people's posts, nobody's going to care, nobody's going to pay attention. They're just going to shoo you away like a fly. So you have to have the ability of copy skill to be able to use this tool. If you don't have that skill, then just go straight to the like tool, and that's assuming you can't afford this one. But if you can afford any of the tools, the follow and follow one is the way to start. But there are certain purposes, like I said, for these tools, which we'll make videos in the future about. And you guys will see in the future, I'll make videos titled like Instagram automation or whatever. Like, you guys will see them when I talk about certain tools and how they can be used effectively. But now you saw two things. So you saw the follow and you saw the like. I want to show you now the comments. So the comment is a way to spread your message in essentially a place where people are getting attention. So whenever people are using tags, right, there's two groups of tags, right, for a post. You have the top posts, you have the most recent posts. The most recent, they just come in and out. And the ones that get the highest engagement end up here in this section with the top posts. The cool thing about the top post section is that you can make a comment and there could be thousands of people that see that comment because of the post's growth. So let me explain. this photo here that has over 6,000 likes, there was one point in time a few minutes ago, a few hours ago, a few days ago, or this post was posted a day ago, so probably, let's say 22 hours ago, where it didn't have 6,000 likes. It might have had 200 likes. Well, the best thing to do is you perform a comment in that post, and then 6,000 people will see that comment, right? But obviously, you can't know what posts are going to be the most successful. So what do? You post on a lot of different posts. So I'll show you how this works. So I'll go to a post like this, right? And I'll set up the comment feature. So I'll go here to the comment bot, and we have the settings here, and we have comment quantity, and then we have the delay from minimum to maximum. And then what we do is we set the actual comment. So I'll set a comment and I'll say, hey, and I'm not teaching you guys copywriting here. I'm just simply showing you how to set up the tool. So I'll say, hey, welcome to, or not even welcome, because that's not ideal. I'll just say, hey, if you love this post, check out my profile. You will love all my Christian content, like something like that. If you just simply outright say, hey, go follow my account, I promise you nobody's going to follow your account. This is where skill comes into play. Now, did I have some kind of skill to write this message? No. That's why this is not a course on copywriting. That will come out for a different day at a different time, maybe years into the future. Definitely not today. But the point is that you have to write something that draws people in or gets them curious. Okay? So after you add a comment, you can add multiple comments. So I'm gonna type in a comment here like hello, and I'm gonna type in a comment like how are you doing? ? Right? Just like that. So I'll have 3 different comments. Then I'll just hit X here on the top, make sure my comments were set, so they are, and then I'll just go over here, make sure my numbers are where they are, and I'm going to set this number to 3 once again, and I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to hit do comment post. And what it's going to do is it's going to go onto each of these posts, it's going to type the comment, right, kind of like what you just saw there, and then it's going to move on to the next post in the hashtag section, so that when these posts are posted and they get a lot of attention, my comments are going to be seen by 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 people, or even thousands of people. It just depends on how fast that post grows from engagement. So let me see how I believe it did, like 3 or something like that. I can't remember, or 2 or 3, but I think it got the job done. Yep, it got the job done. So we'll go back here, and let me turn this off. All right, because we don't want any kind of distractions here. And I'm going to show you those comments that it made. So I'll go back here, and I believe it commented here. And you can see here, 49 seconds ago, here's my profile, and it said hello. I'll go to the next photo, and mine says hello again. Now, what it is it's a random comment checker. So you could see here, or a random, not comment checker, but a random commenter. So how you doing? So the first 2 posts got the comment at random hello, right? If you guys remember, I put 3 comments. So hello, how you doing, and hey, and this post on this comment on the top, which is a little bit longer. It picked this one twice, and then it picked this one, right? So it picks them at random. So you want to test different comments and see which ones are the most effective. That's fair to try too. And the way you do that is just simply try a series of posts, and whichever comments get the most engagement, get the most likes, get the most attention, then you're essentially in the gold for certain ones that do well. Now, something that I will say is what makes these tools compoundingly more effective over time is if you're using them consistently. The reason why is because it takes a little bit of knowledge to understand how the Instagram algorithm works. And the way it works is Instagram judges everything off of a simple impression. And in the Instagram world, if you look at if you guys know anything about Facebook ads or Instagram advertising, when you sign into what's called a Facebook Audience Insights tool, which is basically a back-end tool that shows you the research and the data behind how far an Instagram ad goes, an impression is regarded as an engagement. Now, a lot of profiles, a lot of businesses, a lot of platforms don't engage an impression as an engagement. But on the world of Instagram, it is, and it actually completely makes sense. For those who don't know what an impression is, it just simply means if your photo pops up on that person's account. Instagram is developed so well, right? And so intelligently that your photo is not going to appear as an impression on somebody else's account unless it has a reason to be there. Now, that reason comes from the things that we use in the tool, the things like the likes, the follows, the comments. And I'll show you what I mean by that. If I perform a comment on one of these photos, right? Let's just say this photo has 3,400 likes, okay? I post a comment on this photo. And this photo, when I posted a comment, it had 20 likes, let's say. Over the next 20-something hours, it's going to get 3-something thousand likes. Anybody that sees my comment and pays attention to it through scrolling, Instagram can track that. Anybody who clicks on my profile and looks at my photos, Instagram can track that. Instagram can also track when somebody clicks on my profile, looks through my photos, and clicks on one of my photos without even liking. Or it will also track if somebody even likes one of my photos. It will track all these details. And based on all the information they acquire, they know that that person is interested. And now, what am I doing? I'm growing my reach. So I might post 2 or 3 photos, but the first 2 or 3 photos, somebody who I appear as an impression on their account might not pay attention, but it might take the right piece of content. This is why I'm a big recommender and a big believer in testing out different styles of content and different formats to see what works for you the best. When you test these different styles of content, certain content goes farther than others in terms of reach. Now, you can check your reach by switching to a business account, right? And when you do that, you can see how far you're getting. If you don't have a business account, it's perfectly fine. Just track your engagement and see how many likes you get per photo. That will help too. But really, your reach, it's better to have a business account. But regardless, if you don't have a business account, it's fine. It only takes a few minutes to make. But even if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Even though it's not ideal, it's still fine. But you can track your impressions and your reach over time. And the cool thing about Instagram is they'll give you data analytics over how far you've grown and how many new accounts you are exposed to. And every time you post more content, you're being exposing to new people. But the only way that happens is when you actually do the engagements with the tools, with the bots, right? The follow, unfollow, the like, the comment, etc. So that only happens that way. But here's the thing. If you don't use the tools, you're never going to have those few instances in the beginning for engagements. And those are not going to cause people to further connect with you. Meaning, let's just say I appear in a comment to Sam, right? Let's just use Sam as a imaginary friend, right? That doesn't know me. I post a comment and they click on my profile, but they're not interested right now, or they log out, or for whatever reason, the connection gets disconnected. Well, Instagram logs this and they know this. So in the future, when I post a photo, I might pop up on Sam's feed in the bottom, in the front, in the middle, wherever. And when I pop up on the feed, it might take the right post for me to create for him to actually pay attention. He'll click on his post when I pop up in the feed, on that post, when I pop him in the feed, he might follow me. A month later, he might see another post that triggers him in the right way, and he might buy one of my products. The whole point of this is that you have to do this over a long period of time. This is not a short period of time kind of growth. Now, don't get me wrong. You will grow over a short period of time very quickly. You'll gain so many followers. In fact, I recommend you take the time to perform a little experiment. Try 2 accounts. Create 2 accounts. Create one account where you're not using the tools, the different bots and apps and Optimal Bot. Create one account where you're not using these tools, and then create another account where you are using the tools, and compare the growth. Post exactly the same images, post the same hashtags, do all that, and then compare the growth between the two. And you'll see that your other account, the first one with no tools, no nothing, will not grow. It will be stunted completely. It will not grow at all. These accounts will grow 10s, 20s, 30, 40, 100 followers a day, because you're engaging with certain people and you're consistently posting content. Now, relatively for the content, what I personally recommend is, if you're busy, post 1 photo a day to 1 photo every 3 days if you're busy. If you have extra time, I recommend posting 1 to 3 photos a day. Okay, so that's just my recommendation. On my personal accounts where we actually sell products through Redbubble, through Zazzle, through Society6, I have virtual assistants now that can, get easy grip on this and work real hard and do things for me. So we're posting maybe about 40 photos a day on various different accounts, and I'm getting them to use these Instagram tools to actually grow my accounts for me, and we're getting all kinds of reach. And just to put things into perspective, on Redbubble alone, in the past 24 hours, meaning from 8:31 p.m. right now to 8:31 p.m. yesterday, we've had, and I'm estimating here, we've had in total maybe about 80 sales just on Redbubble across all of my accounts, right? Across all of my accounts, maybe about 80 sales. I would say about 22 to 17 of those sales came from Instagram. So what I'm trying to say here is that a good percentage, maybe I don't know what the percentage of that is the amount of sales that come from Instagram, but you get the point. It's like 1/5, 1/4, whatever. Not even 1/4, but a good amount. But what I'm saying is that it produces significant results for me if you use it, especially over time. So that's just my personal experience. I think it's good. I use it a lot. I use it every day. And the cool thing about it is I don't necessarily have to go out there and do this every single day because I have the virtual assistants. But if you're doing it, all it takes is a few clicks. It's not hard work whatsoever, and I think everybody could agree on that. So hopefully by the end of this video, and I don't know how long this video lasted, but you guys saw me not only install the tools, but explain how to use every single one of the tools and why they're beneficial. All right? So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it helps you out. If you have questions, put them in the comments down below, and I will leave all the links down below as well. I'll leave the link for the Vivaldi browser in the description box down below. I'll leave my affiliate links for bots and apps and for igbots.org in the affiliate links in the description box down below as well. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.